What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophia and this is my channel, Sophia Sees Beauty, where I review all things beauty and makeup. Today I'm very excited. I just received the newly released spring quints from Dior in Popeline and Organza. I'm going to be doing a full review with swatches, a demo, and my final thoughts. So if you guys are interested in any of these two quads, keep watching. Before we get started, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm a luxury beauty YouTuber and Instagrammer. I will put my Instagram down below in case you would like to follow me along there. I review all of the new beauty launches in the luxury world and high-end beauty world, and I would love to have you as a part of my community. So hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more of my videos, and hit the notification bell to see every time I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I know that you guys love Dior, but please give me a thumbs up to let me know if you like this type of content. It also really helps my channel with the YouTube algorithm. I'm a relatively new YouTuber, and so I would appreciate any support. Every thumbs up counts. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's get into the product details. So these are the new quads. I will be posting close-ups of everything. We're gonna get into the swatches, and I will also mention there will be timestamps down below in case you guys wanna skip around. If you searched for, new Dior quads and you're just looking for some quick swatches or maybe a quick demo, you will find all those timestamps down below. But these are the new quads that Dior just launched. They do say that they are a limited edition on their website. They are new and limited edition. And I think that perhaps this is kind of a bit of a spring launch for them. What I really am excited about though is that these are supposed to be sort of their regular formula that they have for their eyeshadow quints. And in my experience, this tends to be the best formula that they release. I know they have a couple of other lines and sometimes they release other limited edition products, but these do seem to be in the regular, very satiny, beautiful, ethereal formula. I love the Dior eye quint formula. I do not know how long these are going to be available on the Christian Dior site. I would expect these to be available throughout the spring and summer season. They currently are available on the Dior website, which is where I purchased these with my own money. But if I can find them being retailed at any other site, I will definitely link that down below so you guys have access to other stockists. Both of these products are made in France and they have a 6-month shelf life, which doesn't seem that long to me, but I have a lot of other Dior quints and they work just as fine after 6 months, so I will put that out there, but it does say a 6-month shelf life made in France on the back of these quints. The first quint is number 839, which is called Popeline, and this is described as vibrant pink shades and a taupe. This is a really beautiful palette if you're somebody who likes really soft ethereal pinks with a little pop of shimmer, and then you kind of have the taupe in there if you want to add a little bit of depth. You guys will see when I get into the demo how these look on the eye, but this is a really beautiful pink tone palette. The second palette is called Organza, and this is described as shades of bark and beige. I don't know if I would say that this is shades of bark and beige. I don't really know what that means. I definitely think there's beige in there, but I think that this particular palette, what really stands out are these stunning coral and gold shades. You will see in the swatches that these are really the standout shades. So where Popeline is kind of like the soft, like ballerina pinks, very kind of like early 2000s vibes, the Organza palette is definitely more warm toned, more of like sunny, summery feels. To me, Popeline kind of screams spring, whereas Organza is kind of like gonna take us into summer. So that's my general thought about these color stories. They basically gave us something that's a little bit more cool tone, maybe more well suited to paler, cool toned complexions, and then Organza is a little bit more of that warm tone. I think this would look beautiful on more like tanner, medium to deep complexion. So that's kind of the difference between these. Now that we have all of the product details, let's get into some swatches. Okay, party people, I've got you up close now, and we are gonna start off with some swatches. But right before I do that, I just wanted to show you guys the absolutely breathtaking packaging that this particular shipment came in. I don't know if it is because it's, Lunar New Year coming up or anything like that, but I just wanted to show you, this is the box, or at least the top of the box, that these two quads came in. And then similarly, it came with this absolutely stunning I guess this is a sort of like a Lunar New Year envelope. I know that this is kind of custom to give out when you buy these sorts of gifts. I know that sort of a custom is to put money in these red envelopes and then give them out to your loved ones. But I just wanted to show that in case you guys are planning on giving this as a Lunar New Year gift, or you celebrate Lunar New Year, or you just are a sucker for packaging like me. I'm going to be saving both of these items, and I don't know, probably storing my makeup in them, or, you know, putting this like on my vanity or something like that. But I just wanted to show that because, you know, every little bit of value counts when you're buying Dior. All right, friends, let's get into some swatches. We're gonna start off with the Popeline quad. Again, this is what it looks like. And I'm just gonna do some quick swatches of this one starting first, and then we'll do Organza second. Starting off with this shade, I just wanna show this one on my finger because I feel like that's gonna be the best way to watch this one. It is kind of like a gorgeous, like gossamer topper shade, and we will put that right there. So yeah, you could see it shears out when I swatch it, but that's why I wanted to show it to you on my finger so you can really see the luminescence. Next, I'm gonna do this one, and that is a beautiful shimmering pink. Next, I'm going to do this center color right here, and that is more of like a lighter sort of rosé pink, I would say, compared to this one right here. Next, I'm going to do this pink. This one feels incredibly silky on the finger. And so that is, it's kind of like Dior's version of a matte. These shadows are usually extremely silky and satiny, which makes them very blendable. Like I said, this feels like straight up silk, and it swatches magnificently. It's obviously a little more subtle, but once it goes on the eye, I find that these just really blend out like pure silk. And then lastly, I'm going to do this shade. And that is the deepest shade in the quad, and has kind of like, it's basically like a soft brown with a pink undertone. And I will show you guys a close-up of this beautiful quint. This is such a pretty sort of soft pink color story, and I really like that shimmering sort of gossamer topper shade. Next up, we're gonna do swatches of the Organza quad. I'm gonna start off again with sort of the more shimmery topper shade like we did last time. This one, as you can see, is much more opaque. So if you don't like those kinds of sheer topper shades, you might prefer this. And that is probably one of the more metallic shadows I've seen from Dior. I don't have all of their quints, but that is extremely shiny. Wow. I love me some gold. I love the bling. Next, I'm gonna go into this shade right here. And this is another kind of silky, it looks like it's gonna be more matte, but it's kind of like a silky satin shade, I would say. Next, I'm gonna go into the center shade. That is a soft champagne. Next, I'm gonna go into this coral shade. That is another, these all are kind of the same formula, I would say so far, with this one being the most metallic and these being more satin. And lastly, I'm gonna go into this shade. And that is sort of the most neutral, darkest shade in the palette. These are the darkest, and I would say still, these all feel like the same sort of satin, slightly shimmery formula. And then this is the one sort of standout poppy shade in the palette. So kind of like a nice, soft, neutral, coral leaning quint. And once again, here is a close-up of the Organza palette. This is just a really, again, sort of soft, sort of slightly warmer, cheery, coral neutral color scheme for spring. Just perfect for the upcoming season. Okay guys, I hope that those swatches were helpful. Now we're gonna get into a quick demo. All right, fam, time to demo these stunning quints. I'm gonna start off again with Popeline. I think I'm gonna do one look on one eye with this quint, and then I'm gonna use the other palette for this eye. So we're gonna start off with Popeline. Going into the crease with this shade using a crease brush. You can see that is a really pretty sort of soft pink Wow, that's pretty. Oh, I like it, guys. I like it. Next up, I'm going to go in with this bright shimmering pink color all over the lid. And you can see that's a very beautiful sort of frosty bubblegum pink. This gives me major early 2000s vibes, and I am all about it. This is definitely a color I would have worn back in high school. And I love these sorts of tones for my skin tone. I love pinks. Next, I'm gonna put the center shade here on my lower lash line. I'm also gonna put it in the inner corner, and I'm just using a Sonia G Pencil 1. And what I noticed instantly is that it picks up very, very well. Whereas sometimes I feel like with these very sheer shades, I have to like dig in a little bit more, or maybe if you're, comparing this against like a Tom Ford wet dry formula, I find that I have to dig in a little bit, but look how easily that went on and how smoothly. I'm also gonna put a little bit of this more matte shade that we had in the crease on the outer corner right there, just to kind of blend it all out. Next, I'm gonna put this slightly more brown shade in on the outer corner. And I am using a Refer number 1 to do this. This is basically just kind of a very nice all-purpose kind of fluffy brush to really diffuse the color. I like using these brushes with Dior products because I think that that's kind of the look that these particular quints are designed for. So you can see that just added a little bit of depth, it took away a lot of the bright pinkiness of the look and just made it, it was beautiful before, but now it's like just a little bit more sophisticated, I would say. Lastly, I'm gonna go in with this beautiful topper shade right in the center of the eye. And again, that's what that looks like. If you are skipping ahead in the timestamps and you did not see the swatches, that is what that looks like. And you get a nice, bright little glimmering center. All right, and this is the look with the Popeline shade. I will turn my lights up a little bit so you can see the shimmer, and then I will turn them back down so you can see it in a different light. Hopefully that is helpful and you can really see that center glimmer right there and just how soft it looks. I will put on mascara right after I do the other eye using the Organza quad. All right, let's get into the Organza quint. We definitely have to use this shade, but I'm gonna start off with this shade in the crease. And once again, I am using a crease brush. This is a Refer number 27. This is my second layer, so you can kind of see how it can be built up. I think that this particular palette would look very, very nice on sort of like a medium and tan skin tones because it has this beautiful coral nature to it. And I just think if you are tanner or you have more olive skin, it would look gorgeous. Whereas this one, I feel like, I think these would look good on a lot of people, but I think for me, for someone who's very pale, or if you have freckly skin, I think that this Popeline one would be stunning. Next up, I'm gonna take this center shade and I'm gonna put it all over the lid. So this is really just a very soft wash of color. This could be a one and done color, but as you can see, it's not extremely pigmented, but it is very soft and beautiful. Next, I'm gonna take a smaller shader brush. I'm gonna go into this bright gold shade. I'm gonna apply this to the outer 3/4 of my eye to just kind of brighten it up. And as you can see, this is sort of the brightest of all of the shades that we've used in either of the two palettes. I'm also putting that shade in the inner corner. I think that this shade, if you want something a little more bright and metallic, is gonna be better than that center champagne shade. I'm just dragging it sort of under the eye to really brighten up the eye. I'm just taking a pencil brush and I'm taking that first crease color and adding that to the bottom outer corner. I'm now gonna take this taupey color and put it in the outer corner. And once again, I'm using another Refer number 1. I wanna just build up a little depth, and then I think I'm gonna go in with that bright coral shade right at the end. I just want to blend in this gold so it doesn't look like we just put it on. It actually, looks a little more blended. And I'm also kind of gonna draw it out a little bit more up into the brow bone and over towards, you know, the hairline. And there we go. That's looking a lot more like blended in general. If you guys are wondering, I am wearing the Lisa Eldridge foundation today. I've really been liking that. I recently posted my December favorites, and that particular foundation did make it into that video. So if you guys are interested in hearing a little bit more about that foundation, definitely check out that video. I also wanted to just kind of give a quick shout out to this lip gloss that I got from Chanel this weekend, and it is in the color 728, and it's just kind of like a juicy shimmering pink, which I thought will go good with the Popeline Quint. Next, I'm gonna dip into this brighter coral shade. I'm using this new Rephr 32 brush. This is the one that they launched as a part of their holiday collection. Really great collection. It's kind of like a little hoof shape. So we're gonna try this out. Just stamping it on. And then you can kind of turn it on its other side and blend it into the crease, and it creates that sort of outer V shape. I'm blending everything out with the Jumbo Blender from Sonia G. This is a really nice brush for, well, not just for blending, but also just like one and done looks. As you can see, it's a Jumbo Blender. She's a little chubby blender. All right, friends, so that is the look with the Organza palette. Let me go put on a little bit of mascara and then we will come back. I'm back. Okay, so here is the look with the Popeline quad. And here is the look with the Organza quint. I know I said quad, I meant quint. This is the look with the Organza quint, which I don't know, guys. Whenever I put on these quints from Dior, I put them on and I don't think they're gonna be anything special. And then when I finally have the full look, I look at this and I think that this is so, so pretty. I can't even really decide which one of these I like better, because I really thought it was gonna be this one, but now that I see this beautiful like streak of gold or spotlight of gold in the center of my eye, I'm like, I like that. So yeah, these are the two looks. They are very subtly different, but you can tell obviously more pink tone, more gold and coral. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know what you guys think of these looks, if this demo was helpful, and now I will get into my final thoughts. Alrighty guys, now it's time for my final thoughts. What do I think of these new Dior spring quints? So first off, in terms of quality, I think that these definitely stand up to the quality of the regular quints that are in the Dior collection. If you guys are familiar with any of their other eyeshadow 5 colors, then you guys will be familiar with this particular formula. I didn't think that any of the colors in here, which I tried all 10 of them on both of my eyes, I didn't think that any of them were hard to work with. I thought they were all incredibly smooth. They all swatched well on the hand, but they also swatched well on the eyes during the application. And you guys saw everything blended very seamlessly. They're very silky, they're very ethereal. I even really like this beautiful kind of celestial topper shade that is in the Popeline palette. And I also really love this very special metallic gold that's in the Organza palette. So in terms of the quality, I think these are really, really nice. Packaging, you know, packaging and price are the same as any other Dior quad. So I think you need to ask yourself, you know, in terms of, is it worth the $62 for this specific quad? It really comes down to the color story and to what other particular Dior quads you have in your collection, or maybe other brands' eyeshadow palettes that you have in your collection. I was a little disappointed to see yet another pink/rose eyeshadow palette being launched, but that being said, in terms of the Popeline palette, it is really beautiful. I do like that they kind of went in sort of a like early 2000s frosty pink, like ballet tutu, very, very girly, very, very spring color story with this one. And it is really pretty. I like that they added that little topper shade to add a little something extra to it. So at the end of the day, even though I think that this palette in particular is like a little bit boring and we've seen a lot of it, it is a really, really beautiful palette. But maybe ask yourself if you've been kind of, you know, dipping your toes or jumping head first into the pink eyeshadow trend that has been happening the past like year or two. Maybe just ask yourself, like, do you really need another pink eyeshadow palette? You know, I was using the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette yesterday and I thought to myself, you know, these have a lot of similar shades. It is a different formula. I would say Dior is a lot softer and a lot more satiny, but you know, maybe if you have that palette or some of the other like Charlotte Tilbury or Pat McGrath palettes that have launched within the past year, you probably have like similar colors to these. When it comes to the Organza palette, I think similarly, this isn't anything revolutionary. These are both like very, very neutral palettes. If you are someone that loves beiges and you love golds, you just want something for every day, you want something with like a little hint of coral, you know, a hint of this kind of metallic gold right here, then I think you're really gonna like this. As I mentioned before, I think that this one's probably a little bit better if you want pink cool tone colors, and this is better if you want warm tone corally golden colors. I think this would look really beautiful on tan skin tones. But in general, I think that this looks like a lot of the other quads that Dior has in their collection. I think that if you have a lot of makeup already, you probably don't need these. But that being said, if you were to get these, I don't think you're going to be disappointed by the formula. If you're a fan of the Dior formula, you're really going to like these particular QUINTS. Now, something that I do want to call attention to, especially if you don't have a lot of Dior eyeshadows, is just the fact that you really don't get true mattes when you are using Dior QUINTS, or at least not with these particular products. It's more of like a soft satin that looks really elegant and really beautiful in the crease. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're somebody that you really like matte shadows, they are the base of every look for you, and you're really using those shadows to build up depth, then you're not really going to get that from these particular types of eyeshadows. I just don't think that is the type of shadow that Dior is looking to create. They're trying to create something that is really easy to use and is a little bit more sort of blended wash of color. I think that is the style of a lot of different luxury brands, and so I just want to call that out there in case you aren't familiar with the Dior formula, and that's something that you were really hoping for from some of these darker shadows, like the coral one right here, or like maybe the taupe that's located in the Popeline palette. And that kind of brings me to my next point, which is I'm a little concerned that these might not work for darker skin tones. I would love to hear from any of you in the comments if you did buy these, or if you're thinking of buying these and you do have, you know, kind of like a medium to deep skin tone. Do you think that these would work for you? Does this sort of like satiny formula that is very, it's more sheer, it's more satiny, does that work on your skin tone? I would love to know. Please comment down below, because I am a little concerned that these are just not going to work for darker skin tones. And I kind of wish if Dior was going to be releasing 2 new palettes for spring, that maybe they would go with, you know, one that's sort of these light pinky tones and another one that maybe had 1 or 2 deeper shades. I do have other Dior QUINTS that have darker colors, so I know that it's possible. I know that they release other colors, but for these in particular, I am a little concerned that there's just not going to be enough depth there. And for that reason, you know, I might knock these down a point or 2 because they're not as accessible, and not everything's going to work for everyone. But I'm just saying, if they're going to be releasing 2 palettes, I would have liked to have seen maybe one a little bit lighter on the spectrum and one a bit darker on the spectrum. But instead what we got is sort of like 2 very different color variations between cooler and warmer. So anyway, guys, those are my final thoughts. Hopefully this video was helpful for you if you were thinking about buying these particular palettes. Please comment down below and let me know if this was helpful, and let me know your thoughts. Are you guys thinking of getting these? Do you think that they're gonna work on your skin tone? Which one, if you were to get one, would you get? And if you guys have made it this far into the video, please, please, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to see you guys every single week and interact with you throughout the comments. I will also put my Instagram handle up on the screen here and in the description box down below. We have a lot of fun over on my Instagram. That's where I post a lot of sort of mini makeup reviews. I usually release sneak peeks and swatches of these types of products before I am able to post my YouTube reviews here up on YouTube. I let you guys know what sorts of things I'm looking at, what I'm buying, different types of beauty sales and beauty deals out in the community. So definitely check me out on Instagram as well. And finally, If you like this video and you haven't given it a thumbs up yet, please do your girl a favor and give this video a thumbs up. It really means a lot to me and it's really supportive of my channel, especially if anything in this video was helpful for you today. I would really appreciate that. I hope that you guys are having a fantastic new year, a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.